Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That ball is history! A walk-off home run!
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge. What's up, Dad?
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. I appreciate y'all joining me however you may be joining me, whether that's 94.1 on your FM dial, if you happen to be locked in and listening at sasportstar.com, or if you happen to be watching on our YouTube page. That's right, we stream all of our shows live on YouTube. Just go ahead and go there, search SA Sports Star, like, subscribe, follow along. You can comment along with the show, or if you want to be a part of the show another way, you can feel free to call in 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. If you want to be a part of the conversation, lots to get into today because the Spurs, well, their first round went as expected and not expected. Weren't sure what they were going to do with 14, if they were going to keep it, move up, trade out completely for future assets, or maybe a NBA established player. But at 2, like we thought, they took Dylan Harper. Boom. Nailed it. 14, stuck, picked Carter Bryant. There are varying opinions when it comes to Carter Bryant. This morning, the morning huddle, they were talking about their Spurs first round picks.
Time to break down what the Spurs did. First of all, I think we can both agree, thank goodness they did decide to pick number 2. There was that small percent chance that they moved out of that.
Well, they're minute, but yeah.
I'm excited about Dylan Harper. I really think that this is like a special talent. Hearing him talk last night, I feel even better about him. Like I think he's going to be a good fit here. And I'm not saying it's going to be immediate impact. I'm guessing he probably plays. He'll probably play about the same amount of minutes that Steph Castle did last year. If you assume Chris Paul's not coming back,
he's definitely not.
So I think they'll probably be in that range. But
I don't know. I honestly have no guess. If Mitch is truly the Popovich disciple, it'll be a learning curve, and there'll be a lot of time for him watching. I mean, that's just the way that it has always been here, unless you were named Tim Duncan.
Well, Steph Castle didn't do a lot of sitting last year.
He did a fair amount. I mean,
he didn't start.
That's what I'm saying. You're going to do some sitting and watching. And it's going to be a new, I don't know whether there's going to be a new flavor of offense. I don't know how we're going to do this. Are we going to run 3 guards? Is that going to be the plan? And maybe he's not the initial starter. Is he going to come in? So there's a lot of questions. But, yeah, he's a very, very good basketball player. The chances of failure on this are slim. I think it's going to turn out really well. I just don't know how it's going to work.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be fine. I just want to see what the structure of the offense looks like. Are we really going to be spreading like this? Are we changing anything? Or is he going to be coming off the bench? How is he used? All those little things that are really going to affect how the team looks immediately and long-term. That's still to be played, but we know we've got the best guy out there, even if it is a bit repetitive.
Yeah. And it is certainly repetitive, but again, I think you're going to, as you transition toward positionless basketball, which we've heard them talk about.
Well, we'll see. But again, how far are we going to get away from Pop? This is going to be just a crazy kind of year, because now Mitch, this is his. This is an interim. This is his. Certainly with the ever-present shadow of Pop around, but I would assume they're going to give him some leeway to do some newer things that Pop might have been adverse to doing. So we might see a whole lot of Dylan Harper. We might have a learning curve. Like, dude, we got to put you on the ground. You're going to have to learn early because we're going to need you in June.
I thought there were some prizes, namely Igor Demin going 8th, Cedric Howard going 11, Noah I thought it was Esenge. It's Essengay. which
Well,
I
heard
don't
pronounced
like that.
3 different ways. And
What?
I can tell you this, Adam Silver had no idea. He was
Okay.
not
Oh,
prepped,
yeah.
planned. It was a comedy listening to him read some of the names later in the draft. He had no idea at all.
No one went through it.
It wasn't,
him?
you could tell it wasn't like sometimes when you read copy, anybody in our industry, it will be some of the words.
Oh, I misread a word this morning. Yeah.
I don't do that.
But
Yeah.
they'll give you a phonetic spelling. So, like if it's a long E, it'll be 3 E's, a couple of O's. So you go E-O because they want you to emphasize
Oh,
it.
yeah.
He didn't get any of that. It was just the name, and he was trying to spell it on the fly.
Yeah, I don't do that. Speaking of, we're going to give away some San Antonio Mission tickets. They're playing against the Corpus Christi Hooks. We'll do that later on in the show. I'm going to give away those Mission tickets.
$2 Tuesday.
That's right, $2 Tuesday, July 1st. But I thought with Essengay and Cedric Coward and Demon going earlier, I thought that I was like, oh, the Spurs are going to get somebody that maybe we hadn't even talked about. But guys like there were guys, obviously, anytime there's surprise risers, there's surprise fallers. Asa Newell was a faller. Kaspers Yakashonis was
of note. He was the one that fell the furthest.
He fell all the way to 20.
And McNeely, too, really started high and really went a long way down.
Ended up, he went 29th. So I just thought, I mean, I guess that Carter Bryant, who we've heard talked about a lot, that was a guy that the Spurs were actually into, and that's the guy they take.
Never wavered, man.
You seem to think, and I tend to agree, we probably won't see. Well, he's going to be Harrison Ingram 2.0. He's going away for a while.
And notice the comparisons with, I mean, Ingram, I'm talking about the style of play. They're obviously looking for a forward, a graceful forward, a wing dude, a 3-and-D, which, that's a broad definition, but in a sense that a guy that can attack from the wing, a smooth 3-point shooter that can pull up in transition, can defend three positions. That'd be about it. And on the quicker side, and they've tried over and over to find that position, and this is the latest attempt.
Well, and I think the downside to taking Dylan Harper is now you are committed to having a bunch of guards on the floor, and none of them are really good at shooting.
Well,
and you said, okay, well, we're going to go and get a real shooter. And I think of all the stuff to say about Carter Bryant, that seems to be the best thing about him is the dude can legit shoot.
Mm-hmm.
I hear a lot about his defense. He looks like he's got the body to defend. He's about 6'6", 6'7", good size.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think he'll be able to defend. I don't know much about him because, again, he was the sixth man.
I mean, he could be Malachi Brenham. I mean, he could be that. I don't know. I mean, there's just I know so little. So we're going off of a private workout and highlights that are limited with Arizona and a body type. And, and you're right. The one thing he does have that will translate is he can shoot on the run.
I think that the thing that they are looking at him as is the long-term replacement for Harrison Barnes.
Yeah.
Because that what do the Spurs have Harrison Barnes for? Shooting, defense.
Yeah, but they didn't. I mean, Harrison fell into their lap in a trade. I mean, they chased him, but he's kind of a guy that the Spurs haven't always used either.
I mean, he started most of this year.
By default,
it seems
he's one of the best guys on the team.
But it does seem like with Wemby, they do like having him out
and
there.
I do think that's what I'm saying. So we're evolving. This team is evolving. We're doing newer things because of Wemby. And I like the way Harrison Barnes has played. And, we haven't had that since Sean. I mean, we really don't have those kind of forward types. So, he's going to fill a need that we haven't really used in that kind of version for a minute. So I'm excited to have him. But if you're expecting a whole lot from him this year, it's just not going to be there.
I don't think so either.
So it's going to be a minute or two. But yeah, it could be a lot of fun. This is this draft in the end is all about Dylan Harper. And if he fits in the way we expect it to fit in, this team's going to be significantly improved to where we're talking about Coach Johnson and Coach of the Year because of the turnaround and all those kind of things. There's a lot of stuff that's going to come out of tonight, and they did it right. They got the guy they needed. They didn't do anything dumb. They didn't overcommit or undercommit. They got out too. They saw before the draft was happening that they're going to be perfectly fine no matter what happens at 14, and we're trading number 2 for a bag of beans. I mean, a second rounder and some cash. I mean, okay, which tells me they're perfectly happy with they're planning their work and working their plan.
It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out for the Spurs because while they are going smaller, even though some of their guards are bigger, like Castle and now Dylan Harper. I mean, Darren Fox is only 6'4". And then whether it's Sohan or Barnes, or even if it is Carter Bryant eventually, like he's 6'8", cool. Wemby's the biggest guy on the floor. When you look at the rest of the NBA, you look at the rest of the Western Conference, you look at the size that a lot of these teams can put on the floor. There's going to be matchup problems for the Spurs. I mean, Phoenix just traded with the Timberwolves for the top pick in this draft, giving away number 36 that they just traded up for right before the end of the blitz, and 2 future second-round picks in order to move up. They're also sending out 36, 52, 59, and 2 future firsts. They moved all the way up. Reports are they're targeting St. Joe's big man, Rasheer Fleming. So they draft Kaman Malawach. They trade for Mark Williams, and now they're adding Rasheer Fleming. Size. Lots of size. Miss Becky says it's not always about size. That's funny. But you look at the lineup Houston can roll out. You got 4 guys over 6'10", 3 of them 6'11", with the smallest guy on the floor being 6'7". The Spurs are going in the opposite direction right now. It's going to be very interesting. You look at Dallas, they've got AD. They just extended Daniel Gafford. They added a Cooper Flagg. Like, they're going bigger. Of course, you got Naz Reid and Rudy Gobert up in Minnesota. You got in staying in the Western Conference. If you look at a lot of teams just going, even Utah already has Walker Kessler, Lauri Markkanen. They just added Ace Bailey to that mix. Teams are starting to, Oklahoma City, they roll a lineup out sometimes that includes both Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Lou Dort. Like, they'll go big too. So the fact that the Spurs are actively getting smaller and all of their quote unquote big guys on the roster, not named Victor Wembanyama, are all free agents. Mamu, Bassie, and the guy they brought in last year, Bismack Biyombo. And it was so bad at center that bringing in Bismack Biyombo at the end of the year looked like a revelation for them. It's going to be very interesting to see how things play out and if the Spurs actually do target getting some kind of big on this roster, because as it's technically established right now, your backup center is Jeremy Sohan. And that's where you're at. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 if you want to be a part of the conversation. Man, I love the Dylan Harper pick. You take the best player available. And I like Carter Bryant's attributes. I like what he could potentially become. But they need some help now. And I don't think it's a second round pick in any way, shape, or form. I think they need to bring in some free agents. We'll talk about it when we come back here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Gomez Law Firm has been fighting for the rights of San Antonians for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here. What is something you see often as a personal injury attorney and protecting your clients?
The one thing we always see without fault in a case is that the insurance company will always reach out to them soon after the collision, and they try to get them to agree to a low settlement. They try to get them to agree to signing a piece of paper. They want them essentially to sign their rights away without ever even consulting with an attorney. Right? In the grand scheme of things, if you sign a piece of paper, you're signing your future interest away. So that's why it's so important. It's called the Gomez Law Firm, because we make sure we protect your rights, and you're not signing your life away. You're not signing your rights away.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then call the Gomez Law Firm first. 210-736-4040 or visit joegomezlaw.com. Protect your family and protect your rights.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist, with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B.
For more than 75 years, University of Maryland Global Campus has given you the opportunity to build your next success. Choose from more than 135 degree and certificate programs in career-relevant fields like business, healthcare, data analytics, cybersecurity, and more. Plus, we offer 100% online and hybrid courses, personalized advising, and lifetime career services. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
At Natural Bridge Caverns, the passage of time and moving water have carved out a massive underground creation. Hidden Wonders, our newest cave tour. Watch thousands of lights reveal otherworldly sculptures in a massive canyon with a sound and light show finale. Or visit the largest of our two caverns with a discovery tour, winding through majestic rooms with incredible formations. Above ground, top off your adventure with a zip along the sky rails on our towering ropes course. Choose your adventure at naturalbridgecaverns.com.
Do your summer plans include travel? Make sure your prep includes more than just flights and hotels. Stay up to date with COVID-19 vaccination, especially if you're 65 or older or have certain health conditions. There have been surges in COVID-19 in the summer, too. It's important to help protect yourself no matter your destination. So check eligibility and schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and top users make $200 to $300 per month.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code STEER25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code STEER25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code STEER25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
That is all-time low. They are coming to the Techport Center, the Boeing Center at Techport Arena on October 26th. That is a Sunday right here in beautiful San Antonio. If you want to go see them, be sure to be calling number 5 right now, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. The fifth caller when we go to what Joe and I had to talk about on the Blitz, you will be going to see all-time low out at the Boeing Techport Center, courtesy of Live Nation. Of course, if you don't win your tickets, you can always get them, livenation.com. But your phone calls, I always promise them, 656-ESPN, 656-3776. Howard, welcome on to Extra Innings with Pledge. What's going on, man?
Well, I mean, I really feel that the Spurs are kind of stuck in a situation where they have to make a move, or we're looking at 5 or 6 more years of the same, below average mediocrity. I really think this team has to make a big move, or there's just nothing happening. This is the Western Conference. I don't think even you can count on Wembanyama to give a complete season. I hope so, because he's a wonderful player. But now you've got a backcourt. De'Aaron Fox is sort of like, it's like a little bit of whipped cream in the sense of, we didn't expect to have him. We've got him. I don't know what happens, from here with him, because we've got the backcourt with the two guys, with Castle and Harper. I think you got to throw it all in and get Giannis from Milwaukee.
Okay, how do you propose going about getting him? Because he is going to have a very robust market.
Well, I think you've got the 14th pick, looks to me like a decent player. And I think Sohan's a decent player. I think Vassell is a decent player. And I think you got to throw, it's two of those guys and 3 first-rounders. And you get Giannis, and then you've got a sort of that is the missing element of what the team needs. The team needs a 6'11" type of player that is not a 3-point shooter, that's going to get some rebounds and play some defense. And, Giannis has also got the downhill thing going with, if you need a bucket. I mean, he is the missing element at this point that the team needs, or you're basically stuck in a, all of the players that they have these last 3 years, they've only got a 9-year return in terms of, when you reinvest after the first 4 or 5 years, So, I mean, if you can't get something done, I mean, with Oklahoma City, they're going to be solid you got all these teams in the Western Conference. So it's like you're stuck in mediocrity unless you make a big time move.
Yeah, I get it, Howard, but it's the cost of the big time move. And when someone like Giannis Antetokounmpo comes available, it's going to cost you. And it's going to cost you a lot. It's probably going to cost you 5 to 7 first-round picks, pick swaps, and multiple players. And it's not going to be players that you're going to want to give up. It's not going to be giving up Devin Vassell and Keldon Johnson and Jeremy Sohan. It's going to be giving up Castle and Harper, because those are the guys they're going to want. Because other guys are also going to want Giannis Antetokounmpo. You're bidding against an open market. And unless he specifically forces his hand here, and then you've gutted your team and your roster, and you still need things around Giannis, because Giannis needed to win a certain way in Milwaukee, who was surrounded by 3-point shooters and defenders. And this team, as currently constructed, especially if you get rid of Carter Bryant, doesn't have any of those things. It has no 3-point shooters, and it has no bigs.
But look at what the Rockets gave up for Durant. They didn't really give up. They kept
because their hand was forced by Durant.
I know, but they kept Amen Thompson. They kept Alperen Sengun, and they didn't give up.
Because he's on the final year of his deal, and he said, I'm only going to sign an extension here. Giannis has multiple years left on his contract as of right now.
Yeah, he's got 3 years.
He can't force the same leverage that Kevin Durant did, who's in the final year of his deal, and says, I will only sign an extension at one of these places. And he was lucky that he gave them 2 to 3 options.
Well, I would agree to disagree. I think three first rounders, give them the Atlanta one if they want the pick swap, and I do believe Vassell and Sohan are solid players.
I appreciate it, Howard. I've got the NBA draft coming up. I've got to get to it. You're wrong. You're fundamentally wrong. You're not giving away 3 future firsts and a bunch of matching salaries to get one of the best players in the NBA, who is also a multi-time MVP. It's just not going to happen, and that is Spurs delusion. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. We got the second round of the draft coming up next right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, Joe Fortenbaugh here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets